Ooh, it's all sparkly. Hey gang, Jeff Stone here with day 44 of the year 2016 at magicreviewed.com. Sparks by J.C. James. So what you're getting is, we'll say 12 things. Let me just quickly tell you what each one is. First one is called Spin, which it's, I believe it's in the trailer where he's doing this funny little flourish with a Sharpie, then it vanishes. The next one's Wave Change, which is the one where, oh, why not? I got a deck here. I don't know, maybe I can even do it if I'm that okay. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, it's this, I'm not going to try to do it because if I blow it, then I'll expose it and then I'll have to reshoot and yada yada. But it's the idea is that you have a card here and you shake it and it changes. He shows that in the trailer. There's Knack, which is basically it's a modification of the Vernon strip out move. It's a little easier, but it's a little more less invisible, we'll say. We'll talk more about that later. Drunken Production, that's actually one of the few full routines on here, which is a funky production of where you're trying to just show them a trick with one jack, and then suddenly another jack appears, and another one, then another one. They just keep popping up. Got a very Cardini-esque feel to it, where you're, the magic's happening to you, and then all of a sudden those cards turn into a whole different form of kind. That's the basic idea there. T2P is a card to pocket routine, but it's a routine which you see in the trailer again, where you have the signed card here, and you're showing it. You wouldn't be doing it at this angle, but I guess you could. And you're showing it as you're raising your hand up. It's like vanishing, like you see blue here from the back of the cards, and then they say stop whenever they want, and you remove it, and that half of the card is vanished, and it's in your pocket, and the other half is here. That's T2P. Latex Slidini is a rubber band and dollar bill transposition, where you have a dollar bill in your pocket, and there's a rubber band wrapped around it, and the dollar bill could be signed. There's no duplicate there. And then you put the dollar bill back, and then you have the rubber band here, and you grab it, and then you open your hand up, and now you have the dollar bill, and the rubber band is in your pocket. Then we got ACAP, which stands for as close as possible, which is a thing where you are putting 4 cards into the deck, apparently like this. But when you're done and you square them in, you spread, and they're all 4 right next to each other. Fan change. Fan of 4 cards, which is in the trailer. Little flicky flick, and this one changes right here. Couldn't do it from this angle, though. It would not. Well, actually, it might. It might work from that angle. I don't know. Unsleeve is a coin production. Pog production is you just have the deck sitting on the table, and you give it a little flick, and 4 aces fly out. And actually, it's easier than you might think. I was able to do it on the first try. Fake tilt. Some, we'll say, attempts at updates to the tilt or the depth illusion, depending on whether you're a Vernonite or a Marlonian. But anyway, it's some modifications and some I don't know if they're improvements, but some different ideas that are worth studying, I think. Clean transpo, which is just a 2-card transpo using no dupes. And then Behind the Force, which is a ridiculous force that might as well not be on there. So, mostly what you're getting are moves. And there's some clever stuff, no doubt about it. Mostly, though, that's what you're getting are some moves. I just want to check my notes on this one. So, what are the methods? They're all over the place. There's no way I can really sit and talk about that. I'll just talk about this. Some of them are very angly. So angly, in fact, that they're unusable. One of them is that Behind the Force. The shot that he showed for us to be able to experience the effect was basically over his left shoulder, looking at the cards, and he's doing the move like over here, and that's the only, and even then it looked fishy, but anybody else in the entire planet would see what's going on. So that one you just might as well throw out. Now the fan change, in the written review I mentioned that it's a similar thing where this one you're looking over the right shoulder. That's the angle to get it to where that you see the effect. Well, what kind of a trick is that? Hey, come over here and stand behind me while I show you a card trick. But just now thinking about it, that one might actually work up here. So that might be legitimate up here. He did not teach it that way, but maybe he should have. And so I'm going to fiddle around with that, and see, I don't want to do it on camera and screw it up and expose it. But that one actually might work up there. So other than those two being a little bit iffy, the rest of the stuff, it's doable. It's hard. Some of it's easy. A lot of it's knacky. And it's the kind of stuff where if you've handled a deck of cards or coins or some, sort of common magic prop or whatever, you have little things that you do with your hands, excuse me, that fit you, that feel natural to you. And if anybody can do the old pin spin here, which I promise I can do it. I'm trying to do it up here. That's always my excuse, the camera. Anyway, but the little pin spin, after a while, that just feels normal and natural to you. And it's hard to explain it to anybody else to teach them how to do it. And so some of the things like his little Sharpie flicky thing, that's very knacky. And it's not as easy to do as he sort of claims it is. But then there's some other ones that are, the wave change is pretty easy. It takes a little bit of practice. The shellac thing, which is that modified Vernon strip out move. The drunken production's pretty straightforward and easy. The pog production's easy. The T2P, the card to pocket, pretty easy. But there is a move, which is, you basically rip the card in front of them under cover of a very large, awkward gesture, which I don't think he did very well in the performance, but I think it is something that could be done well with some practice. So anyway, the unsleeve, it's just a way to, it's just like what it sounds, to produce a coin on somebody's open palm by unsleeving it. So there's the one where you're putting the 4 cards in the middle. That one's a little bit awkward. I tried it a couple times and I was able to do it, but it's a bit angly. So you got stuff that ranges from pretty darn practical to relatively angly to completely angly, so bad that you can't do it. I'd say there's only 2 things that fall into the latter category. I'd say everything else is, even the stuff that's angly, it's a reasonable angle thing. There's plenty of stuff out there that people do all the time that's very angly, and it's just, you just watch your angles and only perform it from the appropriate angle. So let's talk a little bit about ad copy. There's a couple of claims on the ad copy, and I'm going to definitely consult my notes for this. And Latex Slidini, he says a rubber band has vanished and replaced by another object such as a dollar bill or a pack of matches or a folded playing card. This can be done naked. Well, when I was naked and I performed it, when I knew a guy that performed it naked, and it didn't work out so well. It requires a pocket. You have to have a pocket for this to work. You can't, because the pocket is where all the magic happens, all the switcheroo and all the whatever that I can't totally expose. You cannot do that trick naked at all. There's not, I can't even think of a reasonable way to do it. Like, maybe you have like some sort of a box on the table that you could apparently be putting the dollar bill into instead of your pocket or something like that. But even that does not, he didn't cover anything like that. It's just not very practical. So the trick itself is very practical and very doable. The only catch is, I never thought of this until I was doing the video here. Every performance you lose a rubber band. And so you're going to have to carry a whole bunch of rubber bands with you for that effect. I guess if you just have a bunch on your wrist, you're good. So that's not too big of a thing. But anyway, you cannot do latex Slidini naked. Second thing, it claims that it's all 100% impromptu, no gimmicks. Well, that is sort of true. I mean, let's take the latex Slidini again. You have to, if you have the rubber bands on you, you need 2 rubber bands and the dollar bill to do the effect. Then yeah, it's impromptu. If you have a coin on you for the on sleeve, it's impromptu. If you have a deck of cards, impromptu. You have a spin, a Sharpie, it's impromptu. The only exception to that is one of the effects uses a duplicate card. And so I don't know if the duplicate card is considered a gimmick, but it's certainly not impromptu. Other than that, though, it's the claim there is pretty accurate. So, moving on. Let's see. Oh, it mentions that there are prediction effects. There are no prediction effects in this video. The only one that's sort of a prediction effect is where it's the shellac thing, where they're saying you can predict a phone number. The routine in that, the one that they show, is not a prediction of a phone number. It's a revelation of your phone number. You didn't predict anything. I shall predict that my phone number is 801 blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to tell you my phone number. Come on. That's not a prediction. I predict that my middle name is Wayne. The most common middle name of serial killers. Just thought you want to know that. You know, so anyway. All right. Just don't look in my backyard. Did I say that out loud? Crap. I'll just cut this part out. So this is getting awkward. Anyway, so other than those few things I just mentioned, the ad copy is pretty good. Moving on to product quality. The DVD is produced well enough. The teaching is pretty good. There's one, though, like this spin with the marker. I don't think that was taught well at all. In fact, it was taught so poorly that I don't know that you'd be able to do it after watching it. So I tried. Let me just see. I got my Sharpie right here. He's doing this little thing where I don't even know what the heck he's doing. I don't know. Something like that. I'm not sure. In the explanation part, he explains it as if, just spin the pen between your thumb and middle fingers. I'm like, what? I rewinding it, and I rewound it. I still can't figure out exactly what he's doing. I haven't quite got the knack for it. But then the vanish, there's one moment where he reproduces the pen from a fist. He never teaches that in the DVD. So that one, although it's probably not as hard as I think, I don't know because he doesn't teach it. He doesn't do a good job teaching it. Everything else he does okay with. The only other exception, there's one moment where he's holding a double, and this is only a single here, but he does something like that with a double in the performance of an effect, and he never teaches how he did that. So that was a little frustrating because that clearly, when he did that, I was thinking, oh, he's probably holding a double there, but then when he did that, I'm like, oh, that's not a double. Now, I may be wrong. It may have been more like this or something. I don't know. But either way, it was a little flicky move that I was not familiar with, and that made it to where double left my mind and made it much more deceptive, but he never taught how to do that. So there are some things, little, loose things here and there. But overall, this is a good product, and there's a lot of good ideas on here. And so if you liked some of the stuff you saw in the trailer, if you liked, if you want to learn some new utility moves, that's mostly what you're getting here. A couple routines. That paw production is really pretty cool. You just have the deck like this, and you push down, and the 4 aces or whatever you want fly out, and you catch them. And I was able to do that first try almost perfectly. So it's really, there's a lot of just stuff that ranges from simple to super hard to really knacky, to you can't do them at all because they're too angly. That's 2 things. So overall, 3.5 stars. Stone status of gem. For $25, there's a lot of stuff on there worth your consideration. That's it, folks. Sorry about the randomness of this video. Time to like the video. Subscribe by clicking right there, hopefully. And listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which is Bette Davis Eyes by Taylor Swift. You know, I should have never broken up with her. That song, Dear John, it's about me, not John Mayer. I had to change my name. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's it for this one, folks. Let's see. Tune in tomorrow, Valentine's Day, where we'll be taking a look on day 45 at Oracle. Until then, folks, thanks for watching. Peace out.